Sevi from the afterlife. Marko, we were waiting for you for the last 5 years, but you're not turned up yet. When you are here, trust me, the golf courses are absolutely perfect. And my back is surprisingly good. Come on, Marko, come on, Ox. Couple of blokes, couple of beers. Let's go.
Hey, did we really just hear from Sevi Ballesteros?
We did.
That is incredible. We're going to hotline to heaven.
I know he's your idol. I know.
He was.
I know you
He
growing
was.
up that you
He
loved
was.
Sevi Ballesteros.
I loved him.
Why did you love him?
He's just a rooster. He could shoot 66 about 10 different ways, the way he walked around. He was a god of golf. And plus, he used to beat the Yanks, which I loved.
Yeah, no, he was good at that.
That was good.
Didn't he end up marrying into royalty?
He married a princess.
What do you mean?
He married a Spanish princess.
Gee whiz.
And Dad wasn't happy.
What do you mean Dad wasn't happy?
Dad wasn't happy at all.
Why?
Because Sevi was a pleb to him.
He's like a peasant.
Yes, a peasant.
Like a Spanish peasant.
A complete peasant.
When Sevi hit his highest, the king must have said, oh, hang on, Sevi's the champ. No, he's once a peasant, always a peasant.
Always a peasant. It was his Carmen. That was Sevi's wife's name, Carmen. And
so Sevi was like like the Spanish Meghan Markle.
He was like a court jester.
God almighty.
He was like a Spanish court jester over there. Anyway, he was
It's funny because we're sitting here at the Brighton Beach Hotel.
Actually, can we please introduce the program?
All right,
a couple of blokes, couple of beers. We're at the Brighton Beach Hotel in Melbourne.
Well, hang on. I don't mind doing that, but we've just spoken to heaven. I thought that was a bigger intro than the pub was staying at.
That was just a bit of preamble.
Gee whiz.
I've got now I didn't go shandy this week.
No.
I want you to know. I've just gone for the heavy stuff.
What are you gone?
Great Northern.
It's not heavy. It's a midi. It's a midi. I've gone to Stone and Wood today, so they'll be arriving. We've already placed the order. But you're just mentioning Sevi, your idol.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching the screen here.
Your idol's up. Look
Michael
at him,
Jordan.
MJ.
Michael Jordan. Now he was never considered a peasant or a pleb. He's the greatest.
Do you know his line of Jordan Nike stuff is now bigger than Nike?
Nike itself. Yeah.
That is just ridiculous.
That iconic brand of him, stretched out the silhouette he stretched out. That is as good as any brand in the world.
There's never been a better silhouette in the history of this planet. Not one. I'm trying to think of any others.
He's my number one I'd take to dinner. He's my number one person on the planet I take to dinner. If I had the choice, wouldn't matter if it's Britney Spears.
Britney Spears.
I don't know. I just
Why did she pop into your head?
I don't know.
It was that schoolgirl outfit, wasn't it? You're sick, man.
Sick.
Sick puppy.
Sick.
No, actually, it's pretty good.
It's pretty accurate. Now, Jordan's number one. Who's your number one you take to dinner?
I always loved Muhammad Ali, but he's not around anymore.
No, well, you might have to get Sevi to speak to him. Currently alive?
Currently alive. Just trying to think of one that jumps in my head.
Would it be T-Word?
No, I reckon Tom Brady'd be pretty interesting.
Oh, Tom Brady'd be good.
He'd be a very interesting character.
You could both go on a double-blind date. Because he's swinging easy at the moment.
Yeah, well, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, you might be
Wouldn't be the first time you've double dated with a quarterback.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Can we still be friends?
What have you got one for me?
Can we still be friends?
I've got one for you.
Really?
I've got one in my back pocket.
All right.
Can I quickly go first?
Yeah.
Because I've seen three.
Oh.
Just driving around.
Hang on a minute.
Just driving around town of late.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why. I mean, it's warm weather, but I mean, I've seen 3 bicycle built for 2.
Tandem bikes.
And couples riding them.
Yeah, not.
I promise you I have. And this is why it's stuck in my head. If you saw 1 bicycle built for 2, that's no big deal. I've seen 3 in the last week.
Really?
Since the last podcast. 3. So I'm just throwing it in your general direction. Yep. If you saw Trish and I
on a tandem bike
getting around town, could we still be friends?
No. Absolutely not.
I don't play. Yes. Imagine that.
You can't.
We had the same tracksuit on.
No.
All right, come on, your turn.
Just last one on that. Would you be up the front or the back?
No, I'm in the front.
No, I reckon Trish is at the front.
No
I
way.
reckon.
I'm not letting her steer anything.
Hey,
no chance.
Can we still be friends?
Go on.
If you rocked up to my place and I just say there was you and Trish, you've ridden there on your bike.
Yeah, on our
down
bike,
and
In our
I put
tracksuits.
together a little bit of platter, a little bit of food for us.
Oh, I love that. Those
And all of it was air fryer food. Can we still be friends?
Well, no, see, I don't have an air fryer.
What?
So what sort of food would be on that platter?
Well, you don't have to worry. There's not bananas, strawberries, or grapes.
Lovely.
So we know
That's a
that.
win.
So it's basically fried food. So you might have little chicken tenderloins, little dimmies.
Yeah, I'm in.
You're in.
Oh, we're friends.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I did it the other week and I got a fair bit of awesome feedback.
Did you?
Yeah.
What? Chicken seeds? I imagine chicken tenders.
Some good food. Yep. Nuggies. Little nuggies.
You're,
Love nuggies.
you're 50 years old. You're still eating nuggies.
They still love nuggies.
Yeah.
Dimmies. Got to have some
Can you
dimmies.
air fry dimmies?
Of course you can. Little spring rolls.
So they're not steamed. They're not
It's air
fried.
fried. It's air fried. Yeah.
Oh, they're air fried.
Yeah, it's air
And
fried.
does it
Chicken
taste
wings?
like?
Chicken wings?
Hang on. I'm going back to the dimmy. Does it taste like a fried dimmy? From
course
the
it
air
does.
fryer.
It's exactly the
Really?
same.
But
You've never.
but when you see fried dim sims at the fish and chip shop, they are in just a bucket of nastiness.
Yeah, no,
that's
no.
hot.
Well, this
Where
is,
the air fryer is
fryer's
just
clean because you're not cooking with anything other than air, hot air.
yeah.
That's all you're cooking with.
Righto.
You've got to get out because the air fryer is the new
Righto.
thing.
Well,
But-
I'm definitely I'm on board.
All right, well,
I'm on
good.
board.
Well, when you come over, I'm going to look after you.
Before we go 1 minute further,
Yes.
a couple of shows ago,
Oh yeah.
you told me about your mate. He's one of your gang that plays golf on a Wednesday morning.
Yep.
And he told me that he was trying to infiltrate his wife into
Yes.
Wednesday morning golf.
Yeah, I've had a chat to him.
Now, we discussed this at length
Yeah.
and asked callers about it, and everybody was on board with she's not playing. Now, I know that's easier said than done.
Yeah, it is.
in these situations.
She's pretty feisty too.
So what has happened?
All right. So, do you want my version or do you want the truth?
Can we call him? Because I want your version, and then I want to hear if it matches up to your version.
Yeah, okay, we can give him a call.
Right.
So I spoke to him about it. I said,
What's his name?
I said,
What's his name?
Barry. Let's just say
That's not his name.
Let's just say Barry from the pet industry.
Barry from
The pet industry.
Righto.
All right. So,
Yep.
so Baz I said to Baz, I've got feedback which is pretty strong
Yeah.
from everybody I've spoken to.
You were going to have an intervention, mate.
Yep. And I said, it can't be happening. Your wife is beautiful and, you know, you got a great relationship and you both got tons and tons of money
She
now.
can't play on Wednesday
But
morning.
she can't play Wednesday.
Right.
And he was a little bit deflated, to be honest.
Why?
It was because he kind of wanted to spend a bit of time with her. And I said, well, it's simple, mate. You can leave and
Yeah.
you know, that's it.
You can play in another group. On Wednesday
And-
morning, see you later.
And he said he was going to come back to me with the full...
All right, so
with-
what's happened?
I think we've won.
You've won the war.
I think we've won the war. I think she won't be playing on Wednesdays.
You've got Bazza back.
But it might have cost him. It might have cost him.
Let's call him. I want to hear. I want to hear whether that matches up.
Let's get him on.
Barry, you there?
Yes, Marko. How are you?
I want to hear the real story from you, Barry. What has happened since?
Well, it's been a long journey, Marko. 8 to 20 years, to be honest. I've gone from, they've nicknamed me Barry the Bad Golfer. Now I've turned into Barry the Best Golfer, a bit like
That's
Cinderella.
true. That is true.
Not only does Barry the Best Golfer dictate speed of play, he also picks the groupings for Wednesday. I was under the illusion because David's done it for the last 8 years.
So hang on. You got there. You're the worst golfer. Now you're literally the best.
Well, that's what happens when
Handicap-wise.
that's what happens when you sell your business. You make plenty and you got plenty of spare time.
That's not true. That's not true.
Can we get past the preamble, please?
Okay,
Now, this is all about.
So you want your
missus.
wife. You want your wife to play in the Wednesday group, and you were pretty much told by our group that couldn't really happen. in fact, it won't be happening.
I sort of I get from both sides. I get everyone's story, but I mean, she's a unicorn by the length of the straight, David, as you know.
Yeah, she is.
No other partner, wife, man, woman, or beast in our group is anywhere near her. So I just thought I'd give her a chance at crack at the title, but no, the boys have jumped up and down, Marko. They've banned me for the last month. It's been a little bit disconcerting, but
What did it cost you?
Well, it turns out they've knocked me back. She's knocking me back. So in lieu of that, she's getting a new car, a new set of clubs, new attire, and golf lessons off the second best golfing pro in Melbourne. Behind yourself, Marko.
There you go.
Which I'm a little bit concerned about. Could cost me my marriage in the long term anyway.
Yeah, well, it's worth it because you'll get the boys back on a Wednesday morning.
We're proud to have you back, mate. We were worried about you. We thought you'd turn to the dark side. So thankfully, and well done on your business. Well done on selling, and good luck.
Hey, good luck holding hands on Sunday afternoon with your wife at the golf club.
I'm looking forward to Sunday afternoons.
Good on you.
Thank you, Barry.
See you, Baz.
See you, boys. Thank you.
He's a good man.
Now, Marko.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have a hit with the unicorn.
Why?
Well, after your last tournament, what did you finish last?
Keep on going on with that. The girl can hardly play. Please.
That's what your family think. Only joking.
I'm still a bit hungry now because you're mentioning the air fryer.
The air fryer. I'm not sure they do air fry food here, but...
Do you reckon they got chicken nuggets here?
Of course they got chicken nuggets. It's a pub. Every pub has chicken nuggets.
It's kind of a pub in a good part of town.
You just got it off the kids' menu. You can't order off the big boys' menu. I love chicken nuggets. They're the go.
Well, we might get Daniel over and he can tell us
Do you know
what's in
it?
it.
Do you know what's in it?
A chicken nugget?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to think lamb. I reckon there's going to be a bit of chicken in there.
I've got the ingredients for you.
Of a chicken nugget?
A chicken nugget.
All right, that's next.
You're having a couple of beers with a couple of blokes. This is Ox and Marko. And when you get a sec, we'd love you to subscribe and rate the podcast.
Yeah, Golden State. It's got to be Josh Kiddie. It's okay. See, Josh Kiddie's down in the base. He's going to get the rebound here. There he is. That's Josh Kiddie there. Oh, great pass.
He's the best pass in the league. He's the best pass in the league. By a mile. All right, we ready to go soon? Oh, hang on, here are our beers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Hey, Daniel, have you got chicken nuggets on the menu?
Yes. How old are you?
On the. Do you know what's in them? That's a serious question. Do you know what's in the chicken nugget?
Chicken?
Yeah, you're going to have to tune into this
there you
episode.
go. I reckon
Tune into this
it's
episode
definitely
because you're
chicken.
about to find out.
Got you, Daniel.
Thank you, sir.
No worries.
No,
Thanks,
all
mate.
good.
Oh, the good Great Northerns, they are
Hang
so
on,
good
I
here.
got a stone of wood. Hang on. See how pale that is? See how witty?
The pipes are pretty good at this pub, the Brighton Beach Hotel.
Oh, yeah, they're brand new pipes.
Yeah, they are rippers.
Chicken nugget. You want to know what's in it?
I want to know exactly. So not just chicken. Got to give me more.
Okay, so you were right. There is no lamb in a chicken nugget. White boneless chicken.
Oh, really?
Plenty of water. Plenty of vegetable oil or canola oil.
Why? Why?
Corn oil.
Why?
Soybean oil. Enriched flour. Wheat flour.
Oh, you're joking.
Iron. Thiamine monorhydrate. Riboflavin.
Righto.
Folic. Hang on. Bleached wheat flour.
Bleached?
Yep. Corn flour. Vegetable starch. Corn. Wheat. Rice. My goodness.
So what's the ratio between chicken and everything else in a nugget?
I reckon
20 to 8. 20% chicken.
Nah, it's 50% chook and the rest is added stuff. So it's not bad.
It's not bad.
So just eat half of it.
What have we been feeding our kids all this time?
I know.
Hey, your mate Jordan.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best.
Have you seen what's going around on social media lately?
Oh.
He'd hang his head in shame
So I
from what
think
he's seen with LeBron lately.
Yeah, I think you're alluding to LeBron. Now, LeBron James is a sook. Now, we know he can play, but he's a sook. And I was actually thinking about this the other day, that it's okay to sook up when a decision doesn't go your way, but the NBA are becoming real prima donnas. The players are becoming real prima donnas.
They're flopping all over the joint.
But I was also thinking about the most disrespectful things you can do as a sportsman on a field or a court.
To another sportsman or to anyone in general?
To another sportsman or to the game itself.
Right.
Because I reckon when you are the number one player in the world and you are carrying on like a 4-year-old to the referee, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so I thought I'd just come up with my top 5.
You've got your top 5?
Top 5. So I was sitting in bed the other night and I thought, top 5. And I'll start at number 5.
Right, that makes sense.
And then I'll go up to number 1. All right, number 5. Wiping blood on an opponent. He's number
Nathan
5.
Buckley style.
Nathan Buckley style.
Bucks did that
Pretty
too.
bad.
Who? I reckon it was Linger.
Could have been Cameron
I
Ling.
reckon it was Cameron Ling.
Good memory.
Long time ago.
You should be doing specials.
One day.
You're very, very good.
Working up to it.
I reckon Actually, I got 6. That's I just found another one.
What is it?
So
Number,
that's number 6.
That is 5A.
So that's 5A. This is number 5. Headbutting your opponent.
Okay.
I reckon if you give a Liverpool kiss,
Yeah.
that is pretty disrespectful.
Trying to think of somebody who has headbutted an opponent recently.
Zinedine Zidane in the World Cup did
Lovely.
it some years ago and
Thank
got
you.
him.
Yeah.
I think Peter Philandia, number 4. Punching or grabbing someone's testicles. Plums. Any groin action, and even if you're a girl, if you hit someone in the
I
down there.
I know what you're talking about.
Down there, I think that's pretty
not
bad.
on.
Number 3 is the coward punch.
Wow.
So it's number 3.
There are 2 things worse
Yes.
than a coward punch.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 2, hitting a referee or umpire.
It's poor form.
It's poor form. It's the worst form. They're there to do their job to adjudicate. It's poor form. Oh, yeah.
You remember Phil Carmen?
Yeah.
That footage, every
Carberry.
time you see it, it is staggering
It's
to see that
and
took
John
place.
Burke. John Burke in the Army Reserve Cup when he,
Yeah.
one of your teammates,
Yeah, that's right.
Collingwood player.
Yeah, a couple of Collingwood
And
players
number 1,
involved.
I think this is the worst one you can do to an opponent, and that is spit in their face.
Renee Kink.
I think that is the most disgusting
God.
thing you can do to anyone. Another Collingwood person.
This is all
What
Collingwood.
is
The whole,
this?
it's a Collingwood top
Wait,
5
this is
and
a
top
Collingwood
5A.
top 5. That is ridiculous. That's funny. That is. Other than Peter Philandia, if he played at Collingwood, you'd have a raw flush.
Yeah, Lou Richards would have done something like that.
Do you agree
Back
with
in
all
the
that? Is there anything in there that I've forgotten about?
No, I reckon that's pretty accurate.
In golf,
Spitting in somebody's face.
that's pretty bad, isn't it? Because that's personal.
Oh, the golf one's a little different.
Yeah. Well, cheating.
Number one's cheating. Number 2's walking on somebody's line. Ooh.
Have you
Number
ever,
3 would be hitting off out of order.
Yes.
Yeah, big no.
What about knocking someone's ball off on the tee?
No, that's reserved. That's got a special place in my mind.
Colin Montgomery did that.
Colin Montgomery knocked. I teed up a ball, ready to go, and Monty kicked it off the tee.
What'd you say to him?
I didn't know what to say. He was a god at that stage.
You got scared. You didn't have a crack at him?
No, I got scared.
Really?
I was only 21.
You could have got personal
he
with him.
He was a hero.
You could have given him something about his chins or his tummy.
He came up to me and said, "You stay out of my way today." After knocking my ball
Did you beat
off
him?
the tee. Yeah, just by one shot.
You got him. You got him by one. Yeah, lovely.
72 to 73.
Lovely. So, Marko, just back on the golf and the worst things or the most disrespectful things. Where does having a hole in one and not seeing it sit on the scale of 1 to 5?
Oh, no, it can be. That's a nice surprise if you haven't seen it. If you've knocked it in, you walk to the green and blah, 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 and you can't see your ball, and you walk up and you're looking over the back first, and then you go, yeah, it's in. Yeah, that's a great surprise.
That's unbelievable. But
It's a nice surprise.
But not your one. Not your one. And a lot of our friends might not know this. You had a hole in one while having a Larry Bird. Is that true?
So I hit a shot at 15 at Kingston Heath, playing with my friend Bray.
Yes.
And this was 2 months before I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. 2 months before.
There you go. Violins out.
So,
Get the violins out. Come on.
anyway, so I hit my shot. It was a nice one, but I needed to go
Straight to the toilet.
to the loo to have a crap.
Yep.
Anyway, so I'm in there, and things are moving along okay. And then I hear this woman screaming at her kid. I'm thinking, wow, what's this kid done? What a joke. Anyway, I get out. It wasn't a woman screaming. It was a bloke I was playing with because he went up and looked in the hole and my ball was in the hole.
So you found out you had a hole in one
while I was having a crap.
So good. And what number was that?
That was number 12.
Number 12. 12 hole in ones.
12 hole in ones.
It's a good effort. It's a
No, your 2, considering the amount of golf that I have played, your 2 hole in ones with the amount of golf you've played is actually better.
Actually, I've got to tell another story. So Mark, Marko and hole in ones are really infamous, or they're famous. He playing at Huntingdale.
Ford Open.
Well, Ford Open.
It was a Ford Open.
Ford Open. Marko has a hole in one on the Thursday or the Friday.
On the Friday.
On the Friday, and there's a car up for grabs if you get a hole in one.
Can I tell the story, please?
Right, this is my favourite ever.
Righto. So I'm on the cut line, and I've got no money. This is like 1995,
Surprise, he's on the cut
1996.
line.
I've got no cash, but I'm at even par, and I know even par's the cut. I've got to play the last 4 holes and make it somehow. Anyway, during the practice rounds, I see on the board on this 15th hole where the big car is on the Ford Open, Thursday through Sunday, you win a car.
Absolutely.
If the hole in one, which makes sense because the Ford Open, beautiful. I get up there, the pin is hard left against the deepest bunker on the golf course.
You're going centre green.
I'm not even looking at it. I haven't even looked at it.
Yeah, good.
And I looked at it on my pin sheet and I decided I'm going to the right because there's no way I can make a bogey here. I'm done if I do.
Play safe.
So halfway down, I know it's going left. I know it is. I look up, it's going straight at the hole. It takes one bounce and goes bang, straight in the hole. The crowd goes ballistic because it was right in front of the clubhouse.
Mark Allen at the first of the par 3s on the back 9. He struck it beautifully. A couple of hops and in she goes.
Unbelievable.
So I'm jumping up and down because I've made the cut. I couldn't, I didn't come into my head that there's a car. Then a bloke goes, "You've won the car."
Nice.
And I've gone, holy moly, I've won the car. I go back and I'm kissing the car.
Up on the windscreen.
I'm steering the car and I'm kissing the car and I'm carrying on like a real deal. And then this bloke from the crowd goes, "Hey, dickhead, it's Saturday, Sunday only." I look back up there and it's crossed it out. It wasn't Thursday to Sunday. It was Saturday, Sunday only. That night, remember Tim Webster on Sports Tonight. So I've had a big steak dinner because I've made the cut, I'm sitting in my hotel room. Play of the day was always the last thing that they did. Play of the day comes up. They show the whole thing. And then they even show it. You can just see this bloke has just told me in my face, you can just, all the colour of my skin has gone white because they know what's happened, that I haven't won the car. And then it just goes back to Tim Webster and he just looks down the barrel and goes, "Oh, no."
So close. You don't like driving Fords anyway.
No,
it was a Lexus. You would have been really disappointed.
Lexus, I would have been cut in half.
Marko, you mentioned Tim Webster?
Yeah.
All right. I've got his number.
You do.
I'm going to give him a call. Tim, are you there? It's David Schwartz.
Hello, boys. How are you?
Oh, thank you for joining us.
How's the voice? How good is it to recognise the voice like that?
How are you, fellas?
Yeah, we're great. Marko's just telling us his story about how he nearly won a Ford on a Friday and your wonderful program. Do you remember that?
I do, but God, it's got to be, 25 years ago?
1999.
1999, yeah.
Oh, God.
Incredible.
Oh, God.
But the way you set it up, Tim, I couldn't believe you had the ability to do what you did because you couldn't hear the guy in the crowd say, "Hey, dickhead, it's Saturday, Sunday only." But the way it was narrated, and then when you came back and looked down the barrel and just said, "Oh, no," if I could just hear that one more, if I could just hear you say, "Oh, no," one more time.
Oh, no.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Oh,
Yeah. You know who I've got to thank for that? My producer at the time was a pretty good golfer. He plays off about 4 or 5.
Right.
John Underwood found all of that. And we, honestly, mate, we really felt for you. But what's I can't remember what sort of Ford you were going to get. Was it a Falcon or what was it?
Yeah, it was a Ford Falcon.
Was it?
It was a Falcon. Yeah.
Tim, you did the show for so long. Is that the biggest letdown you've ever seen?
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Well, it's got to be pretty close. I mean, what was one of those would have been worth, back then, 20 grand?
20K,
yeah. Maybe
it's a life changer.
Yeah.
It's a life changer from the kid from Oakley.
And the Ford Open, you know what they gave me in the end, Tim?
What'd you win?
What?
Absolutely nothing. not a
You
thing.
didn't even get a weekend rental.
Didn't even get a use of a Ford for a weekend.
Ford keyring?
Hey, Tim, while we've got you,
that's-
your show, it was an iconic show. It was a sports show before sports shows were available on Monday to Friday. I mean, when it came on and you just showed everything on
It was must
all
watch.
the weeknights. It was must watch. You must have so many people talk to you about it.
Well, they do. I mean, I did that show for 13 years. And then, what happened was Fox Sports News started up. and we almost became irrelevant because you could get your sports news 24/7. But mate, yeah, the amount of blokes and women, by the way, used to say to me, "It's just fantastic. We've missed everything all day. We've been at work, we've been out, we've been to the pub, we've played golf, we've missed all the sport, and there you are with it all." So it was great.
You're a star.
Well, your 2 words. Oh no, will be etched in Marko's memory forever. Tim, thanks for joining us, and thanks for being such a great sport.
All right, boys. See you.
All right, a couple of blokes, a couple of beers. We're live from the Brighton. Are we live? No, we're not live. Our podcast live?
No.
Well, we recorded live.
We know what you mean.
But you're probably not listening live. But we're at the Brighton Beach Hotel in Brighton.
That's
I would have
correct.
thought, yeah.
That's correct, on the Esplanade.
In Melbourne, Victoria. $1 million views. Marko, Stone and Wood, and Great Northern. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Lovely.
Just about finished those
The
ones.
hospitality has been fantastic.
You know I like lawn.
Yeah,
you know I
that.
love grass, and I take a lot of pride. I've got a cylinder mower as well as my Honda mower.
That's when you're a lawn enthusiast.
Oh, yeah.
If you get the cylinder mower,
Yep.
you go from a lawn carer to
Yep.
a lawn enthusiast.
Yep. So, and I love the cylinder mower. 12 mils is what I'm cutting out at the moment.
Jeez.
So it's pretty low, but we've had good rainfall.
Yeah, okay.
We've had good rainfall over the winter and summer, so it's been really good. But I live in a court.
Right.
All right, and there's about 20 houses in the court.
Yeah.
We've got one Muppet in the court that just doesn't look after his lawn.
Well, that's not good enough.
And he's only 2 doors down from me.
You know what that comes under, don't you?
What does that come under?
Civil selfishness.
Yes, it does.
Something that we just hate.
Now, I thought I'd come to you because you know a fair bit about this.
Yeah.
Should I cut his grass?
You mongrel.
In all seriousness, should I cut his
Well,
grass?
it's funny you say that because I live next door and there's a block of land next door. There's a house at the front, a house at the back. And I don't think either of them know which one has to do the nature strip.
Nature strip, yeah.
Because the nature strip is a disgrace. I'm cutting their grass.
Yep.
And you know what I did last week?
What'd you do?
I gave it a spray as well.
Oh, you did? No. Give it a bit of juice.
I gave it a bit of juice and that weed killer. But I reckon you have to.
Yeah.
You have to, otherwise it takes your lawn, cut at 12 millers
Yep.
with a cylinder mower, it takes it down a notch.
So do you put a note in their letterbox, or do I just confront him personally?
No, you shame them by mowing their lawn.
Really?
You go over there and you full on shame them into looking at themselves in a completely different light.
Do I put the grass clippings in his letterbox, or what will I do with the grass clippings?
Yes. And then if it goes to the same level, it's just time to egg his house.
No, it is civil selfishness. I think that you should be, if everyone else is looking after their lawns, you've just got to do the right thing. It's like Christmas lights. If you've got 20 houses in your court and there's 19 in there with beautiful Christmas lights, and you're the only bloke who hasn't got Christmas lights, at least put up Rudolph, or at least put up a fat Santa. A bit of tinsel, something. Give us something.
Hey, it's time to spin the wheel. Can we get another beer here?
Yeah, we'll get one. We'll get some takeaways.
I'm glad I didn't go a shandy this week.
No, you're going well. And you've stood up okay.
No, I've been okay.
I think the pipes here are good.
What's it land on?
It's just landed on a normal joke.
A normal joke?
A dad joke. That's it, just a dad joke.
Okay, righto.
Well, no little Johnny's.
Is it your go or my
no
go?
blonde. I'll have a go if you want.
Righto.
And we're talking about neighbours. We're talking about neighbours.
Yes, that was convenient.
Yeah. I'd like to thank my neighbour for placing a cover over my car last night when it was frosty.
Right.
Tarpaulin.
Oh. You're going to have to get clearance, I reckon, soon for these jokes. That's not good enough. Just scroll down, please.
All right. What about my wife is so condescending about my tennis strokes, I can't take any more of her backhanded compliments.
Yes!
That's better.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
That's how we do
There
it.
we go.
Magnificent. All right, mate. Good to see you.
Good to see you. And thank you to Tim Webster. What a man.
Star.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Very nice, boys. Very well done. Another episode done and in the can of a couple of blokes, couple of beers with Ox and Marko. And a couple of thank yous again today, as usual. Thanks to Barry, the pet guru, for joining us on the show and clearing up the golf situation with Ox. And also to Tim Webster for joining the show and being a great sport as well. If you're enjoying the podcast, we'd love you to rate and review it. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you'll always get the latest episode every Wednesday. And if you feel like helping out a couple of mates, we'd love it if you shared the show on your socials. It all helps. Couple of Beers, Couple of Blokes. Executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media. Sound design, Daryl Misson from loudzebra.com. And it's only fitting for the final word on today's episode of Couple of Blokes, Couple of Beers. Take it away, Tim Webster.
Oh, no.